All right, everyone, welcome to Crowder Hours number 5. We are here with
Yo.
Attach, Spacely, and Enable. And as you guys can tell,
Here, let's get it.
Spacely is currently doing this podcast with a MacBook from 2008 or 2009. He tried streaming MW2 on the same MacBook 10 years ago. So he does not have a camera right now that works, that lags. His mic is probably not going to be the best of quality, but he's still here on this beautiful day. So shout out to Mike.
Listen.
And what's up?
I'm gonna have to come back on the show another time when I'm back at my actual setup and make up for it.
That's completely fine with me. You'll be invited back whenever you want. Spacely's webcam is frozen. It's not a camera. That's not his webcam.
he has a bunch of people with arms around him too right now. It's just frozen.
Yeah, his ex teammates have his arms around him, just chilling. That's what they're doing right now. All right, so we're gonna get into it. So basically, the gist of this podcast today, we'll be talking about obviously champs since it's right around the corner, and I have a few players. Sorry if that's loud. Jesus Christ. I also have a group of players here that have been through obviously their ups and obviously their downs, and I feel like it's a cool way. I feel like not a lot of people ask when they talk about like their favorite pro player or their favorite person. Like you always ask like kind of what's your best feeling or your best moment in your career. You never asked the question of like what was like your worst moment or your biggest failure and how the fuck did you bounce back from it? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's like a question that doesn't get asked enough in the community. And I feel like these three people right here are some of the best people that are obviously currently doing well and also have had some very rough moments in their career. So we'll get to that on like the second topic and then we'll go from that. But basically, let's start this off. My first question to all three of you guys is, and I put the link to all the teams because I know some of the amateur teams in these pools have like very weird names and like names that we might not know like of the orgs, but you obviously know the players. What do you think is the pool of death?
Wait, where'd you put the link at?
It's in the Discord chat.
In Discord? All I see is
Donald
Trump with waves.
What? Yo, I linked that. My bad.
I was like, what? So those are the teams. You might have to pull up the actual graphic of the pools like on your own because obviously there's I think what is there? How many pools are there? Like 8?
8, yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 teams to 4. So yeah, so if you want to
you
pull
just
up
hover over the team name and it shows the roster. That's the
if you click the team, it shows the roster and stuff. But like I don't know if it has like the exact pools. So if you want to see the pools, you can.
No, it has the exact pool for me.
Okay, perfect. So there you go. So I know there's obviously a lot of like I don't know. People said like obviously our team's pool is very hard, which it like we have some good teams. There's other people.
Pool H.
You think it's pool H?
I think you guys have the most. I think you guys have the most balanced pool when it comes to the bottom 3 teams. Like I feel like any 3 of those teams could like pull out a series against each other. But I think you guys are the clear favorites, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this and just make sure I'm not missing any teams.
I think pool C is kind of like that too. Like I think FaZe is the clear favorite. I think units can like play FaZe pretty well. Because I know they beat them the last time in the league match when they met up, but I think FaZe is the clear favorite in Pool C. But the other 3 teams, I think, are solid. Oh, I mean, that's your team, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, I think your team, and then Units, I think that's a good one, too.
Honestly, I'm looking at Pool H right now because that's what you guys were talking about.
Dude, I think it's, I would say, dude, there's actually a lot. I would say probably Pool H, but wait, am I hearing myself? Am I fucking, y'all hear that?
No.
Oh, okay, my bug. Oh, I don't know. But like Pool B is fucking really good too. It has like
I think I'm gonna go with Pool H.
Like they have Mad Cat's team and then Team War, who I think got second at playoffs in the O bracket.
Yeah.
I would probably say Pool H though, just cause.
Yeah.
I think though, like
I think Pool H is gonna be like a slaughter fest, just like people going dumb hard against each other, and I think it's just a team that like a bunch of teams that at times could be very sloppy, so games could go either way, and teams that are going through a lot and trying to figure stuff out. So I think it all comes down to who puts in the time and the work in these next 10 days.
Yeah, like Pool H,
all those teams definitely have a chance of doing some.
Pool A, like obviously it's champs and like any team can get upset, but I like if there was one pool that I had to pick that I wouldn't be surprised if like the top 2 teams don't make it out, it'd be Pool H. Like I could see like Splice not making it and like Aspire Esports making it, or Heretics not making it and Aspire Esports making it.
Interesting.
But most of the other pools, I think there's like, at least when you look at them, there's like a clear cut like this team's definitely gone through.
Yeah,
I feel like
I see where you're
Pool
coming
H honestly doesn't have one because like Heretics, I don't know what they got at playoffs, but I know
Yo,
they're
Mike.
going through like a weird period.
Yo, Mike, mute your
Then
mic.
Splice, obviously.
I have been muting it.
Really? Why does it sound like it's echoing?
It's like
Wait.
it's a very faint echo.
Yeah.
Mike's got the 09 MacBook is
I feel like it's still echoing.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Bro, I forgot in Discord when I use my mute wire on my Astros, it doesn't mute.
So you have to, so you have to mute on
but
Discord.
I got
Just
it now.
making sure.
Alright, sweet. Okay. Perfect.
Let's go.
Alright, keep going, Ian. Sorry.
Oh no, that's all I was gonna say.
So someone in my chat said Pool G is insane. Let me see what Pool G is. Pool G is insane.
Yeah, Poetry is solid.
Well, that's your pool. That's your pool,
Yeah.
Dylan. All right.
Yeah, I think they're like the Risk and Nashe. They're good.
Do you?
Pentagram, like they're
Oh, you
good
do.
too.
Wait, yeah. Risk. So I mean, I don't know anything about Risk and Natche's new
They're
team.
they're
really
now.
good. I know them. I know Risk
Yeah.
is really good, but I don't
Oh,
know about
yeah.
their new team. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but
If I'm looking
I
at
don't
all
care,
of
bro.
them-
It's champs, bro. Everyone's like,
Yeah,
I don't
everyone's
care
gonna
who
be
I play.
good.
I don't care who I play, bro. It's same mindset as everyone.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, that's how you have to go into it.
Anybody could get it.
Choke slam them, bro. Everyone.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
I think my pick's probably. I would say probably Pool H. The only reason why
Yeah.
is because the way Splice played the last event, obviously they're probably going to get better. Like you would obviously think with champs being around the corner, they're going to grind a lot harder and become better. And they like Splice has a lot of talent, but they kind of didn't get it to work well at the last event. So if they get their stuff like on point, then I don't think Pool H is the pool of death. But if they stay where they were at playoffs, like the two teams, like the two amateur teams in their group are not like those are good players. You know what I'm saying? Those guys can shoot back and shoot straight and like have a really good chance of sneaking out a series because all you have to do is take one series. You know what I'm saying? The one upset series and like that sets you up to get out and it makes everything
literally
like
just
super.
one.
It's all you need to do is show up for like an hour of Call of Duty and show to that. So I think I'll go with H.
Are they going to a pre-land, Chris? Do you know?
I don't know.
No,
We were literally just
think
talking to Donnie,
so.
but I haven't asked him. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
What are the pre-lands? What like who?
I think isn't it like you guys, Genji, Rec, and
United.
United.
Donnie said no
us,
in my
Optic,
chat. Yeah,
No,
Donnie
us,
said no.
Optic, FaZe, and LG.
And
Yeah,
those are the
like,
only two pre-lands that I
Must
know
be
of.
nice.
Yeah.
Like Splice. Honestly, realistically, like Splice and Heretics both should make it out. But I think like out of every pool, like we said, all four of those teams are like the most evenly matched compared to every other pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think their 3 and 4 seeds in their pool are just very good teams.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just really,
Like
really good.
those players are not like just amateurs you haven't heard of. Like those guys have been around for a very long time. They're all very good players. They've all been on the cusp of like being in the pro league. Some of them have been in the pro league. So like that's not going to be a team that you can just show up one day and just roll over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not going to happen. So all right, yeah, I'm going with Pool H, but I think there's a lot of balanced pools. And once again, it really comes down to I think there's just so many teams now that are putting so much work in going up the chance, which is going to kind of lead into one of the next questions of the podcast. But there's just so many people that like are going to have like just better play styles and more overall play styles. You would hope so, even the amateur team. So if those players do come up and show up,
I'm scrimming these AM teams,
Mhm.
and they're like having everyone's like out of nowhere. People are just coming out the waterworks. 12th man joining the lobby. Like, who's this guy? And every team seems to have like an analyst and actually trying to go over stuff and improve.
Yeah.
So
which goes a very
I was
long
gonna say,
way.
that's the other thing that's important is like every AM team that got in these pools, like all these pro teams, the top 2 seeds know nothing about realistically.
Yeah, and there's footage on all the pro teams.
And
all
like
of
they
them.
have the
Bro.
ability to literally just sit there and study like fucking Aspire Esports can sit there and study all of Heretics and all of Splice's hard points on
I
every single map,
love
all
that,
of
bro.
SCVs, all controls.
Wait, Ian, you were on TK last year, right, at Champs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like last Champs and more than I think pretty much all my Champs I've been to, which have been 3 except 1 with LG, have been like last minute or like teams full of scrap players who don't have event VODs, and like early on in the tournament, like that helped us a lot being able to go back, especially in bracket play. We had the time to go back and watch teams like film, and teams couldn't really prepare for us. But by the time like it really helped us get us easy wins early on in the tournament, but then it caught up. Like you guys, I remember talking to Lamar and was like, "Yo, we're not getting caught slipping by Elevate. We're playing them for like I think we were playing for like top 6 or whatever." And
Oh
you guys
yeah, I
went
remember
back
that.
eventually throughout the tournament because we were playing so many games to get where we were. You guys had VODs to watch our stuff and get a feel of how we play. But early on in the tournament for these AMP teams, that's a big upper hand that teams need to take advantage of.
I mean,
Having VODs on other
I
teams.
agree.
when we played you,
Huge.
Mike, I went back and watched your stuff before we played you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew exactly when we played, like before we played you guys, like
Oh
what you
yeah,
guys were
that
gonna
was
do.
deep in the tournament too.
Yeah,
That was for like losers.
That was
that's like
losers
top
something,
8,
yeah, top 8, and
something, yeah.
I knew exactly what you guys
Top
did on
6.
Docs S&D and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I had everything, just because like obviously it's champs. I'm not gonna, no
And-
matter
and
who
the
you're
worst part
playing,
of-
you're not taking it lightly. You know what I mean?
We want to know what's crazy. Worst part about that is we didn't even have time to get your guys' stuff. We didn't know who were
Wait,
playing.
I was talking to Joey Nubsy the other day, and literally we had this exact conversation, bro. We were standing there, and it was like RJ was our coach at the time. And we were standing there, and you guys were doing the vetoes. And, like, obviously our FaZe team had a lot of flaws last year, but we were also really good at specific maps, a.k.a. at Docs S&D. And,
We rushed into it, bro.
And, bro, you guys were like, what should we pick? It was like Forest S&D or London Docs S&D. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, please pick Docs. Please pick Docs. Please pick Docs. And, like,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you're like, like Joey was like, we'll go with Docs S&D. And I'm like, bet. I was the happiest person in the world. Because, like, literally that was the one thing with you guys that we were not scared of, but like
especially
you
our
guys,
S&D.
dude, you had Major Maniac, you had a
Yeah, we
good
knew S&D
S&D
was good.
team, so it's like we were scared
Yeah,
if we played you. It was like, all right, this is gonna be tough to play.
Yeah,
if
they went
play
up
a map
3-0
that-
on us too.
Yeah, I know.
On London Docs, they went up 3-0 on us.
and then we reversed
let's
it.
go.
And we
cleaned
got
up,
St. Hardpoint, which was St. Marie Hardpoint was like our
though. Oh
sleeper
yeah, we
pick.
weren't losing at that.
But I mean, we didn't even know
Wait,
that.
wait,
That was
wait, you
RJ.
guys
That was
went
all
down
RJ.
0-2 to Mike's team?
No,
No.
in search.
No,
Search.
Oh,
Nah, we
Yeah,
went
yeah.
3-0. In S&D, we went down 0-3 though.
same, some light.
Yeah, but that was literally all RJ. I remember RJ like being there and like we showed up the champs. He's like, bro, I'm telling you, St. Marie is your best hardpoint map. And we were like, you think? And he was like, dude, I haven't seen you guys lose this in like so long. Just play it. And we just played it all tournament. It worked out so well.
Yeah.
RJ is the GOAT.
Nah, he is.
Yeah, RJ is that guy.
And it's true too. I was talking to Joey, and I think I was a Joey Nubsy tweet this. This is like the first World Championship tournament, as crazy as this sounds for how long we've been doing this, that every team has a coach or an analyst
Yeah.
or something of the sort. Even the amateur teams, like what you were just saying, that are coming out of the woodworks right now with all of these people that are helping them improve and really taking it to the next step to get better. And like, you haven't seen that at a champs yet. Like there was a few
Ever.
teams last year. Like we had RJ, and I will
Couple pro
always
teams, but like
I will vouch for
we
RJ
should
to the
yeah.
day I die. He helped us so much, but like not every team helped that. I think if every team had that, like it would have been way different. Like I feel like we got ahead last year from how bad we were because of him. Where like now every team has that. So it's like
Yeah.
that.
The infrastructure, like over the past, like I'd say, World War II is where it really started, where
Mhm.
teams started noticing how beneficial and effective having an analyst or a coach is, and it just amplified the whole scene to be constantly improving and having quality practice and just seeing improvements all around.
Oh, I mean,
So
dude, playing with RJ last year, I hired RJ as a personal coach because I wanted to play really well at champs and I was struggling like the event before. And we were trying to get him to spectate our games, not even to spectate our team at first before he became like a full-time coach. And no one would let him do it. I remember having so many arguments with teams like
Remember
RJ
Lamar?
Lamar was
Yeah.
the biggest on that,
Bro,
bro.
He
Lamar,
never
bro,
let anyone.
me and Lamar used to go at it all the time because of it. I was like, bro, he's just like, he's not stealing your strat. You know what I'm saying? But like, we'd always have to go back and forth with it. And now, like, it's crazy how far things have come within literally less than a year. But dude, no one would let RJ spectate because like that just wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? It just was not a thing. And that like now we have every team with 1 to 2 people per team helping out with analyst work, coaching work, making sure the team's actually getting good practice and stuff and more. And I feel like this year, that's like the first time we've had it. And I think it's going to be awesome to watch and like see how things play out because it's so much more competitive now.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly about to say. Everything's just been a lot more competitive ever since.
Yeah, there's no team you're going to play that like is just going to be like, oh, I have no idea how they're going to play. Let's just wing this series. Like there's too much money on the line, especially with franchising coming up next year. Like you're going to want to do really well at this tournament and have a good display because you want to have a chance to be on one of these teams. You know what I mean? Like you really, really, really do. So with that being said, wait, did my thing just freeze? Hold up. 1 second, stream. Am I frozen? Oh no. Are we back? Are we back?
Hello.
Hello?
What
Wait,
happened?
I don't know what happened.
Wait, that was the weirdest thing ever. You guys just froze, and then
Yeah, I thought something happened to my internet.
no, so did I. All right, thank God. I was actually
I thought it
scared.
was just me, bro. I was like, the trash setup.
Dude, that scared the shit out of me. But yeah, no, I just think it's so crazy now that you're just not gonna. Basically, what I was saying, you're just not gonna play a team that just doesn't know like how you play. They're gonna be prepared for you, whether or not their preparation obviously executes well or not. They're going to know exactly what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be pretty crazy to watch. So yeah, that is something interesting that we've never seen in COD. So I'm like super excited to see how it is. But moving to the next question. This is a good one. I already have my answer for this. Obviously, I'll wait until the very end to answer. But which team do you see making an unexpected run of champs? So before we go into it, obviously you can say like, all right, who got third? FaZe. So you can say like FaZe obviously making an unexpected first place if you didn't think they were gonna win this tournament. I see where I see where you're coming from with that. But like, try and go a little bit more like in depth with that. Like I have mine, I think, but Spacely is still frozen. Spacely's not using a webcam, guys. But yeah, so basically,
Spacely is cracked, hasn't blinked once.
so yeah, so what's your one team that hasn't really cracked around like top 6 or top 4? Like top 6 is like their best placing, and like who do you think they'll end up in the top 4? Like who do you think has the best chance for something like that?
Hopefully us. Damn.
Yeah, you're a good choice. Yes.
I was thinking about your guys' team. Yeah, for sure.
To be honest,
I just want
Can't
to
believe it.
look through everything
to-
to make
Nah,
sure.
yeah.
I don't know, but like I know all the pro teams, but I would actually pick Mike's team. Like after looking at all the teams, like obviously this is kind of a curveball just because Mike's team
guess.
is like no one like what you guys get at Miami, Mike?
Third on a
Third?
week of practice.
But like
Yeah.
so the way I look at it is Mike's like I could see Mike's team getting out of their pool, and then pool C plays D, right? So like say Mike's team got second at their pool, they'd most likely match up versus what, like Rec first, I think.
I
Yeah.
think
And then,
so.
and
If
then
they got second, yeah.
like I could see them getting out the
Shut down
pool
Dylan Cobb.
and winning that first series and then like sparking a run. But like in terms of pro teams making it a deep run, I'd probably say EG2. Like I could see them like getting top 4, top 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Dylan
LG.
rotates though.
God
Yeah.
forbid he rotates. Damn.
Someone needs to host some spawns for me. Damn, I'll get all the kills. I got you.
Lamar.
Yeah, host some spawns. Damn. Nah, but I was actually gonna say, for a team, didn't the boys didn't they win the open bracket tournament?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I have to go with them, like Quicker, Bance, Nasty, Chain, Shawnee. Like we've heard a couple of those names before. We know what they've done in the past, and they just won the last tournament. So what's to say? Like I could easily see them getting top 2 in that pool easily. And they're in pool A, by the way.
Yeah,
And
they're
then
in pool A,
they
yeah.
play pool B, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yes.
I could see
So
them
they'd
causing
get
an
a
upset there.
GenG
Like
or, E6.
if they get GenG, E6, or another one of those teams, like I could see them getting out of their pool, winning a round, maybe a couple more rounds in the bracket. Like they're fresh, they're hot off a tournament win, so like they have all the momentum in the world. And if they go to that weekend and start off hot, like you never know what can happen.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do 2 picks in the sense of like a pro team and an amateur team, I guess, because it's a little bit different between each. Like so, yeah. Like the boys are a good team to pick. They just won the bracket. They have a lot of talent on that team, even though they're not a quote unquote pro league team.
Yeah.
That's a pro team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
have
yeah,
Bance,
for
you have
sure.
these Shawnee, all these guys. Like they're a good team. And then I'm not even saying this because Mike's on the podcast, but I feel like every time you have been counted out, Mike, I feel like you always have some
You always pull something
way
out.
that you
Yeah.
pull something
Always
out
pull
and you
something out.
end up doing really well
Yeah, and
when
like
you're
a
not
top
supposed
8, top
to.
6. Yeah.
And that's like part of the podcast that we'll get
Appreciate
to
it.
with you guys. So it's like I feel like you can never count your team out, regardless if you're not even supposed to be like the best. I'd probably say that my number 1 pick would be the boys, but I would not be surprised if you ended up doing very well, just because you always end up making something. You pull something out of your sleeve every single time. And then going
Appreciate
to the pro teams, I think EG has very, very high potential of doing very well because they have a lot of experience on that roster. And to be fair, you guys have been kind of shitting the bed in the sense is
I feel like
you
we really
look so
underperformed that
good.
playoffs.
Yeah, you
Bulls is
look,
garbage, Mo.
bro.
We
You look
lost to
so
a neighbor. This
good.
fool is ass.
Yeah, you lost to a guy. Yeah, trust me, you never want to lose to him. He sucks. But you look so good in series, and you go up 2-0 against all these top teams, and like you obviously like don't finish it out. Where I
Yeah.
feel like that's a product of how good you guys can be, and if you just obviously fix a few little kinks here and there, you guys are gonna be a really good team. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do really well. But my number one pick, I really, for some reason, I think E6 is gonna do really good. I think the way, because we scrim E6 a lot. And map count versus scrims, even when we beat them or if they beat us or anything, it's not even that. It's just the way they play when I watch. I think they're good. I think they know what they're doing a lot more than people kind of give them credit for. And I think I would not be surprised. I know they got 6th place. I know they got that twice with this new roster change. They got smoked at in the play-in bracket or whatever. I don't think we've seen the full new E6. I think they've gotten a lot better since that moment, and I would not be surprised if they make a run in champs. I don't think they're going to get, like, in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's that far, but I don't think they're going to. A top 6, even a 4. Like, I would not be surprised because I think the way they've been playing has been really well. At least from what I see when I see them play, I'm like, oh, this team's actually really good.
They have a lot of talent on that team, and we actually played them. Like, we played them at the play, and we beat them, so they didn't get into playoffs. But, like, at the time, obviously we want to win. We want to make it to the play-in and get to playoffs. But it's an advantage because they're going to watch everyone play going into this tournament and have like a lot of film to review. Whereas people haven't really seen the E6 team play. Like they've seen them play in the Pro League a little bit, and then that one match versus us, and that's it. And I'm sure they're going to improve a lot from there. So I definitely could see. I agree with you. I can see them going far too.
Yeah, no. I just have a weird
They're
feeling.
always that team. They're
really
just that team at all times. Like that can just pop off.
Yeah,
out of
you
nowhere.
never take E6 lightly, but I feel like they've had some higher moments in this season where like they have broke that top 8 threshold and they've shown what they're about. Then they made the roster change that everyone was like, I don't think they should have made a 2-man roster change. We talked about it on this podcast before, but now I think that they've had some time to get everyone on the same page. When I watch them play, like I truly think like they have a method to their madness of how they play. I think they're a pretty good team, and I think their issue before was obviously not making those mistakes when it matters, and they were so close, kind of like with you guys. Like, they're so close to finishing the series out, and then they make some really stupid mistake, and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe they just lost that. But now I think, I don't know, I would not be surprised if they came out and got like 6th through 4th. Like, I think they're doing really well. They're putting a lot of work in from what I see, and I don't know. That would be my sleeper pick, so they're definitely a team to look out for me. And then
I haven't. Go ahead.
No, you're good. What's up?
I haven't been like, you guys obviously get to play against pro teams. As recently, I haven't been able to like play against pro teams as often as I have prior into the year. But I was wondering who would LG play if they make it out first in their pool. Like, what pool do they go against?
Second in our pool.
Oh, okay.
Second.
Well, you guys are definitely matching up with LG first, by the way.
You think? I mean,
not saying that you guys are gonna lose. I guarantee it, bro. That's just how champs works.
No, there is always some funky bracket.
How it works. That's how champs has worked every single time.
Wait, no, I said United's gonna play GenG first round.
I mean, yeah, that could very easily happen. Like, FaZe can easily play reciprocity round 1. Like, that's just how it is.
There's always one pool that does it.
There's gonna be at one pool, but in this particular champs, because we're talking about how past champs like. The teams just weren't that good because they didn't have coaches and other people helping them improve. But now this year that they have a lot of people around them helping them improve as a team, players, whatever it may be, there's going to be more upsets than usual for sure in pool play.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It's going to get wild. So just make sure you're twisted.
Make sure you are cracked.
I had the first Seague on the champs last year. Almost didn't get out pool play, bro. I'm not getting called out.
Weren't you guys a map away or something crazy, right? What was your story again? What happened with you guys?
We played.
Mr. McGee.
We lost to
choke slammed
the
him.
series team the first series of champs, and then we played like Reedy's team, the Epsilon team. They were garbage though, but then we ended up playing Heretics, who wasn't even considered good in World War II, and we were down 2-1, and we ended up winning like map 5, and then we played Rise first round, and then whatever. But like that's the thing. There's obviously Theory's team and even Heretics like were nowhere near as good as us, but we went in blind. We played those teams. You know what I mean? Like they had
and they came out
all the film in the world, and so it's like it's very easy for them to watch and just try to hard counter us. and it's like you lose a one SND 6-5. Like who knows? That might be the difference between you winning 3-0 and then going last map. Like
Yeah, no,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
So
I agree. I definitely agree, dude. I said it before earlier in the podcast. It's 1 hour of Call of Duty for that match, right? That's all it is. You can play that same match an hour later. You know what I'm saying? And it's a completely different match.
Yeah,
You
you
can
might
3-0
throw them an
team.
hour later,
Yeah,
but you might get 3
yeah,
0
that's what I'm
or
saying.
lose
So
game 5 right now, and that's the only one that matters.
yeah, so it's like
So-
that. It's this with everything on the line. You just have to show up when it matters and then really execute. So it's like all these teams. There's so many good teams with the film, bro. You play a search and destroy, and the one play that like you countered them because you knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Like caught them off guard and you win 6-5. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need. A 6-5 and a 6-0 is a W and a W. The same. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild one. I have a feeling this champs is gonna be a wild one, especially with the pools. Even when we won champs together, Dylan, like, what did we get second in our pool? We lost. We had to play Optic first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
we
we
dead
did.
ass, bro, we were
It
up,
always
we like
happens.
went 2-0 in pools, and then I was dead ass waving to my friends at the crowd in pool play when we were up 2-0, like, oh, we're about to, oh, it's over. I was like trolling, playing prof. And
Yeah.
thank God,
Mhm.
because if we didn't play Optic first round, they probably would have won champs. But
I agree. I think if they ended up in the
good
finals
thing we
that
threw
day,
that match.
yeah,
Yeah,
if-
I mean that's just how their team is though. Like they
Yeah,
would
well-
just win a couple. They would have an easy round one, catch fire, and then it's
yeah,
chalked.
that team was
but,
unstoppable in the finals. And that's
yeah,
definitely
so we had to
different,
catch
yeah.
them when they were lacking.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to the next topic. This topic, so I'm curious to see like what you guys think now. I think it was way different back in the day, but now I think it's a little bit more like everything's so much more serious now, even for regular majors. So obviously you have your majors, you have London, you have Anaheim, you have Miami, which is more of a major, and even you have your Vegas and all that, like all these tournaments, and you prepare for these tournaments, and they're super important. There's money on the line. Obviously, winning a major in Call of Duty is not something that everyone's obviously done, so it's still super important. But what's the difference leading up to champs compared to like leading up to Anaheim? Not Miami, because Miami was a pretty big tournament. So let's
This is
talk
gonna
like
sound dumb.
London or
but
Anaheim or something like that.
This is gonna sound dumb, but literally people just care more. Everyone cares more. At the end of the day, that's just how it is.
So like
The heart comes out at champs, bro.
Yeah, like the people truly care more about champs, and that's just how it is.
Word
like,
to Don, people dig deep at champs.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think it's just because like it's champs, right? It's the last event of the year. Like obviously, every pro player will tell you like no matter what event they go to, like they want to win that event.
Yeah,
But you have like when it comes down to the last event, you have both sides of the story to where like a team like GenG, right? They haven't won, but they've done really well. Like they want to be able to get at least one championship in Black Ops 4. And why they would want it to be the biggest one. Then there's also teams like Optic, us, LG, and I guess you could throw E Unite in there, but they obviously just recently won Miami, but like that have won and want to win again. So I just feel like it's kind of like when you have like a homework in school, but you wait till last second, you know what I mean? And then you just fucking really focus up to finish it. Like this is the
Yeah.
last event, like everyone.
The
Like, you
whole
lose, like-
atmosphere is different too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like we got top 12 at Vegas, and obviously we were pissed, but like we were like, yo, there's a lot of game left. Like we can get better. We can, Camps is like this is it. You lose, you're out on Saturday. That's it. Your Black Ops 4.
season's over.
Yeah, it's over.
yeah,
it's like-
it's true.
And you have to think about it like this too. People only remember champs. Whenever you're looking back on it, people only remember like no one remembers. Dude, remember like IW Vegas? Like no one no one cares about that. Like people only remember champs unless like your team
Unless one team dominates,
Yeah,
like, the whole-
dominated. Like
like,
Optic.
the majority,
Optic
yeah.
dominated
And
in Black
AW.
Ops 3. They remember that.
That is
dominated
really
Black Ops
true. That is really
But
true.
everyone remembers champs. Like you're gonna look back 10 years from now and be like, yeah, I won a ring. Yeah, this team won that ring. But like you're not gonna look at the open events. That's just how it is.
Yeah, no, that's true. So that you bring a good point up. It's like you think back to Black Ops 3. At least this is for me, and this is more obviously I was a player. Actually, I didn't play Black Ops 3. I quit after the first event. But regardless, I like looking back there. It's like you look at Black Ops 3. Optic was the best team in Black Ops 3. Their records, their map records, they were insane.
Yeah.
But when I think of Black Ops 3, and you ask me, like, I think Envy. I think Slasher, Cap, Apathy. You know what I'm saying? That's like what I think.
What team got the ring at the end of the year?
That's just so I guess that is a good point. It's just so weird because I just feel like some of the majors are like. So this brings me to my next question, I guess. So which like, what was I gonna? Oh shit! Now I forget what I was gonna say. All right, so yeah, no. So you know the AW season, Dylan, how we won champs, and like, so take my personal like career of AW, second, first, second, fifth, second, third, fourth. Like I got a bunch of top fours in there, but only one win. But it was champs. It was champs. I won the ring. Would you rather be like me and have champs, a bunch of seconds, a couple thirds, fourths, a couple fifths in there? Or would you rather be Optic Gaming first, seventh, first, fourth? You know what I'm saying? Like basically like 6 tournament wins, even though it's not champs. Like, what would you rather be?
I'd definitely just rather have the win, like the champs win, and like the decent placings. Because look back at it like karma, 3 rings. That's what I know him by, 3 rings. You win champs every year. That's what they're gonna know you by. So I'm taking like a couple of decent placings, maybe a 2 wins, one of them being champs. I'm taking that over winning 5 out of the 7 events.
So you'd rather win only champs, only champs for the whole year, not 2 wins. I'm saying you
champs,
only win champs.
I'd probably go.
It depends. If it's only champs, then nah. But if it's like a couple events, like an event and champs. I'm taking 2, 1 event win and 1 champs win.
Like, all right, wait, Dill. Say you got like this year, right? Because AW was different because there was a shit ton of events, obviously. But like, say your team, say you were like in place of me, right? You won London, you won Anaheim, and say you won Miami, but then lost champs. Say you got like 4th. Would you take the 3 and the 4th place of champs, or like FaZe's placings? Would they get like 4th, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and then say they won champs and got 1st?
Ooh, that's tough. Probably.
Like I would still not even about like the money. I would probably take majority wins.
What do you?
I mean,
someone asked a good question in the chat. How many events does it take? Like, how many event wins equals to 1 champs win in your guys' eyes?
I agree, Ant. Let's go.
You think it's like Ant said like it's 5? Like Nameless in the chat said like 5+.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that.
I'm taking champs, bro. I'm taking champs in an event win.
I don't like that argument.
Top two.
For the sole fact that like realistically, bro, every event like people definitely go a little harder for champs. That's for sure, obviously. But like, there's no way. Like, you know how Pat he'll like shit the bed the whole year, and then he won champs, and he's like, oh, I was like, this is the only one I wanted to win. Like
yeah,
like every pro,
like the whole, he wasn't trying the whole
like
year.
every pro team goes into every event, whether it be the first event of the season or champs, trying to win. So like I don't think champs is like, oh, 1 champs win is 5 other major event wins. It's more money, but it's just a win at the end of the day. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, but I'm still taking champs. That's like winning. Winning a game at like.
I'm just saying, champs isn't equal to 5 other open event wins.
I don't know.
I mean, no one's winning 5 events. Like Nameless said in the chat, no one's winning 5 events in a year anymore. That's just not happening.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Well, it ain't gonna happen.
Well, that's not even enough events.
100 T's capping at 2. Everyone's already won. Already got their wins in. We're up next. Let's go.
Good try. Get a ring.
I don't know, because maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but I think winning like this year, winning London or winning Miami is just as hard as winning champs. I think every major right now is so hard to win. Even in AW.
That's like skill wise being harder for sure. It's definitely harder now. But we're talking about the importance and like.
I get the importance. I get the legacy of it. But like, so
it's definitely harder to win. Dude, winning in a year.
So
100%.
I just feel like if you were to win like 4 in a year back in AW and not win champs, I still think winning 4 in a year is more impressive. Like you would like Optic was the best team in the game in AW overall throughout the entire year. They were the best team. You can't go. So it's like, I get they didn't win champs and they didn't have the legacy, but like, dude, winning the 2 tournaments that Optic smoked us in the finals at, and then losing champs, it was just as hard to win those 2 tournaments. They played the same teams. It's not like the World Championship tournament is the tournaments all around the world are not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're playing all the world teams anyway at every tournament you go to. So it's like every tournament is a World Championship tournament, but there's a lot more money on the line. But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I would almost want like the legacy of winning 10 times.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
or 11 times or 12 times,
I-
like winning a multiple championships. I
I
don't
feel like
know.
that's just because you're in the community and you know when you care and you truly get it. But
Yeah.
to someone who's never watched COD before, are they gonna watch a world champion team stream or are they gonna watch a best team in the game for a time stream? Like they're probably gonna hear about the world championship. Like
They're gonna
that's
watch
just
the
how it
best
is.
team now.
Wait, yo,
That's
Chris.
true.
Nah.
That is true. What?
Someone in your chat
But
said.
to us, it's different.
What?
Someone in your chat said I have the record for most tournament wins without winning champs.
Wait.
So I gotta win this year. That's what he said.
Wait, that's you?
Wait, really?
I don't know if it's true, but that's what he said.
Wait, you actually
If
might,
that
because
i-
you have a
if
lot of
that is
tournament
true.
wins.
That
you
is
don't
true.
have.
I'm copping one.
What? Don't? Isn't your
That
champs
sounds
placings
right.
too like second, third, fourth? Don't you have
Yeah,
second, third, and fourth?
I've gotten every no. I got second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. This is my fourth.
So you have to either get first or fourth.
Yeah, I'm either getting first or fourth of this champs. Hopefully first.
Interesting.
I'm definitely getting first or fourth. Last champs, like
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Last
champs.
one, bro.
I guess champs for the legacy of it, and in 15 years, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna look back, and people are gonna remember. Most people are gonna remember. Oh, those guys were the world champions that year. Like
Yeah.
even in World War II, that EG team sucked. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
completely honest. They were
Yeah.
terrible. But when it mattered the most, they showed up. They, you know what I'm saying, they didn't qualify for playoffs. They didn't look good in the league. They couldn't win 18 searches in a row. They were like, you know what I'm saying, all the bad stats. But when it showed up and they did it, they did it. And you could never take that away from them. And you could never
That's
say
facts.
anything. And in 10 years from now, you will remember that they won champs. Yeah,
Yep.
even though TK was unbelievable that year, they won back-to-back. They won season 1. We had a win, even though like we had a crazy finals, but that was it. Like that wasn't too crazy, like in the sense of like our team being talked about. Like Optic had like the moments when they were in the finals, but they never like got the W. But at the end of the year, you'll probably remember that
Thinking
EG
about
won champs.
EG.
You won't remember like TK winning the first event of the year. You might if you really are a big
If
COD
you're like
fan,
in
but
the community and really
yeah,
like know
but
about it,
you
yeah,
won't
will,
remember. You'll remember EG winning champs, I guess. So that is definitely. That is
I think
definitely true.
I think another factor though that goes into this champs being a little different than like past champs is
Franchising.
going into franchising next year. Like
Yeah.
Bryce-
like
Bryce
everyone
and
obviously
Amigos are
wants to
talking about
win.
it in the chat.
Are they?
They're saying like how like every team that wins champs, they get the super bag. Like that is literally you could use that as biggest leverage when it comes to
Oh,
signing.
yeah.
I mean,
I
look
win-
at the Envy team this year.
If I
when they
win
did it.
champs, if I win champs, I'm literally requesting 50K a month. Period. What? Three chips and a ring. Going into franchising, it's over. And I want a new Lambo truck. Dead ass.
I mean, I
Going to my contract.
I think the Envy team in the beginning of this year
Probably could, to be honest.
were able to get Hugh, and like obviously they didn't do very well with them. Like that wasn't the best team, but then I think most people would kind of predicted that Envy team wasn't going to work out in the beginning of the year anyway. Everyone kind of knew that. But
They were chalk
that
from the get.
team only happened because they won champs. If EG got
Yeah.
second or any other place, they were probably not going to end up on Envy with Kyler. I genuinely believe
or
that.
even team together still.
Well, yeah, or even team together still, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
I that is true too. So going to next year with franchising being around the corner, like winning, like if you win champs this year, especially if you've already won an event. So like the teams that have already won, United, 100 Thieves, all these other teams, LG, Optic, if they win champs too, going into franchising, when you're talking to some of the, obviously like the newer organizations, you have that on your resume. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like that's huge. So I guess that is true. That is true. I don't know. All right. We can move on. So also, by the way, if you guys have any other questions in the chat, we can answer some of them. I'm not obviously going to guarantee that we go through all of them because there's going to be a lot of them. But every once in a while, if we see a good question, I'll try and take it in the chat as much as I can. But I want to kind of move on from like the topic of champs too, even though like we just talked a lot about that. I also want to talk to you guys personally because obviously with Crowder Hours, I always want to talk about the relevant topics, Miami, Anaheim. I've done them for so many events and all that. But I also want to talk to you guys. Like when I said in the beginning of the podcast, there wasn't everyone here. I'll say it again. This is a group of players that have had ups and downs in their careers. And I feel like a lot of fans or just Call of Duty players in general always talk about like, they'll come into your streaming and just use you as an example, or you or any three of you. You're streaming, and they'll always be like, what's like your best moment of your career? Or like, how did your career start off? Or like anything of the sort of like how amazing, like something good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what like kicked it off, but like no one ever asked the question like
The lowest point of your
what
career.
was the lowest point of your career and how the hell did you bounce back from it? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know like a big thing about becoming a pro player, and I'm sure any pro player will tell you this. You usually go through moments where you're like, I don't know if this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like maybe this is the end, or
Yeah.
like maybe this shit's just not working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, wait, does Nameless have a question? But I feel like that's a very big thing that a lot of people that support Call of Duty or play, and you can ask your question, by the way. I didn't, if I missed it, my bad. But like,
and said, "Oh shit, I'm out of here."
wait, that's it?
My career. No, because he said, he knows what the lowest point of my career is.
But seriously, so it's like when people that like want to become pros, if there's anyone in here that obviously are like players that want to do it, it's like what? So going to all three of you, like you can all think about your lowest moment right now. Like how the hell do you bounce back from some of those low moments? Like I know Mike, we'll start with you with this one because I said this earlier.
Mike's been through the
that
gauntlet,
is your thing.
That's his specialty.
You know what I'm saying? That you get thrown to the wolves all the time.
Off that shit, bro.
So it's like, yeah, like so seriously, so like explain it, talk about it. Yeah, talk about it.
So,
I want to hear about it.
Lowest point definitely had to be last year. Some people would think it was this year, and I'll get to why I rank last year higher than this year. World War II, like obviously Ghost, like kind of put a scrap team together, me, Mox, Llama, and Lacefield, and ended up getting that big like Ghost coming in the COD was big, and like they did a lot for us. And to start things off, like IW was when we were first teaming, and we ended up placing top 8 at Champs, and then joined Ghost and moved into the LA like mansion, and that mansion was counterproductive for the whole squad. Like our internet was out half the time. If we scrim teams, it'd just be an unfair advantage for one side, either our team or the other team, and it just was counterproductive. Like we'd be distracted easily living in a $15 million mansion, and long story short, to speed things up, in World War II, like what that caused was us not getting good practice, and then ended up having shit placings. Like I'm talking top 40, top 48, top 60, like awful. And the team ended up breaking up, and I just had my stock was at an all-time low. And the difference between that year and this year is like at least this year I have the 10-1 league record, the 16-0 S&D to hold myself to a standard, and people see that and respect what I did there, even though I'm not in the league now. But in World War II, like I went from coaching LG like middle of the year and not knowing, like not having any idea where I would end up, like having the thoughts all right, is this it? Is this it? Like, is it time to move on into some other direction into the scene? And I ended up even doing that as stepping into the coach role. And I did that for like 2 events. And thankfully, leading into champs, I formed this, like, it was Anaheim, I believe. Like, leading up to Anaheim, like I said, top 40s, top 60s. And then ended up playing with Nagafin, BL Fire, BL Fire, and Moch. Jesus, this team was awful. Somehow, no shots to all those guys. It's just weren't like on top of our game, and somehow ended up getting into pools at Anaheim and placing like top 16. And that event is the event I played Major Maniac and Mox to get the pool play spot to make it out of open. And after beating them, like no cap, I single-handedly smoked those fools. And they could even like testify for that. But at the same time, Major Maniac, I knew that kid was like next up, and I knew I had to grab him if I wanted to like make something happen again and bounce back. So I said, like after the event, we ended up losing, and I was just like frustrated with how we played. So I was like, yo, I need to get this kid if I want to do something special. So I ended up hitting him up, and he was like, yo, if you want a team, got to bring Mox. And I teamed with Mox in the past prior to World War II. So I made it happen, and we ended up just going to champs and getting top 8. So yeah, that was definitely the most downfall of my career, is going from a player to coaching and then beating the team that I just was coaching at champs in LG. So
that is crazy. I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that.
That is insane.
Yeah, with the hot 3-0, it was a nice bounce back. So
wait, I completely forgot that you beat LG at champs.
Yeah,
that is actually nuts. All right, Ian, let's go to you. What do you? So what was like your lowest point, and what did
You
you do to
already-
bounce back? I already know yours, but
Yeah.
obviously you got to talk about it now.
I mean, obviously, my lowest point was like basically all of World War II until the last part of it, because I mean, when I was like finally a professional Call of Duty player, even if at certain points I like wasn't confident in myself or my team, I was still consistently placing like top 4, top 6. You know what I mean? Like I would be contending at some events, and then going into World War II, I just made a horrible choice
Yes, you
on
did.
picking the team that I
Full
went to
on
go play for,
the cash.
and it clearly didn't work out. And like it wasn't like we were just playing bad. Like on our FaZe teams, we've had a couple bad events before, but we were still getting top 8, top 6, like 4th. I think I got like top 12, top 20 with EG. Like legitimately, I wasn't even playing on Sundays, and when the roster change fucking period happened, I kind of got fucked over by the situation, and so like I had no team. I had to go play with an open team, which was Lightning Pandas, which was Goonjar, Theory, and Exotic. And I thought that was it. No lie, I thought because it was like Seattle that event, and then there was like one more change for the end of the year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Seattle with Lightning Pandas, try to do well, and see if I can get on a league team and see what happens. But like if not, I was probably gonna quit and try to do like streaming or content. But luckily, I got picked up. Lamar and Kenny both blessed me. Because I don't know exactly what happened to them. All I know is Lamar hit me up and was like, "Yo, you want to run games?" And then the rest is history. So I was at the verge of quitting for sure. Like I was pretty much done halfway through World War II, just because my stock was so low at that point because we had played like fucking abysmal. But
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was just always like I'm such a competitor. I didn't want to quit, so like getting that opportunity to kind of like show everyone that I could still win with TK was huge for me. I think. And I think that actually like really helped with my confidence because that was the lowest point in my career, like individually. When I was on EG, I was like, dude, maybe that's it. Like I can't play anymore. But now we're here.
Wait,
Two chips.
that's actually crazy. Someone
That
said
is a crazy story.
Zinni saved your career by going to Optic.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was.
He sketched right on TK.
So
yeah.
you owe your career to Methods, basically, because if he didn't sketch on TK and go to Optic, which was obviously warranted, like you're gonna join Optic, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and
you wouldn't
TK,
have
but
gotten
that was the only league team that I got an offer by.
yeah.
Because like
Wow.
I think I tried to get on Envy,
Mhm.
but they picked up like Chino and Desi, and I think maybe it was just Chino and Desi. I don't know.
Yeah, that's nutty.
That's crazy.
And Dylan, we
But-
all know yours, so. But yeah, no, that's wild. That is so wild but it's so weird because like that downfall for you was probably like the best thing that's ever happened to you in the sense of like where you ended up. You know what I'm saying? Like you ended up like doing really well the next year. You know what I'm saying? Like if all that, like if you don't get dropped by Pat and you know what I'm saying, things don't work out in the sense of, like, of the way things worked out, like you wouldn't have probably won 2 events this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, no chance. I wouldn't have played this year.
you wouldn't have played with Kenny. You wouldn't have ended up on 100th. You know what I'm saying? Like all that, like it's so weird how down things can seem as a competitor, and like how out of touch you can be like, oh dude, like this, like I don't know if I'll ever get back to the top, and then you end up having like the best case scenario, like. Even like when you look at some of the other competitors that do end up retiring, like there's so many people that end up having like the best moments because they retired and they do like something in the content. Like obviously like players like I don't know what the Shroud story, but you know what I'm saying? People like that though. Ninja retired Halo, now look at him. You know what I mean? You never know what's like the next step of the story. But Dylan, go to you before we obviously because you have to talk still. So
Mine's like a fresh wound. You guys are all talking about years back.
we're ripping off the Band-Aid. I was there with you, pal. So.
Yeah, no, it was tough.
Those was garbage, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, yeah. After POQ, that definitely lowest point. Because other than that, like, there's not really a point in my career where we weren't at the top. Like in AW, we were at the top. Black Ops 3 were trash, but still gained like 4th because there was no one playing at that time. And like then IW, we were solid 2nd and 3rd again. World War II, we were super inconsistent, but like we got an event win. We got 3rd at Champs, a 4th at another event. So still another good lucrative year. But yeah, no, this is definitely the lowest. We didn't qualify for the fucking pro league. That shit's embarrassing. Oh yeah, I'm cursing way too much. That's embarrassing. But yeah, it was it was wild. It was a wild time. So I pretty much definitely my stock was at the lowest point at this year for sure. And I just feel like over the years of being on FaZe, I really didn't get to showcase my potential to the fullest and grow as a player, person, whatever it may be. And then, so when I got the offer to go back to FaZe while still being on EG, because I mean, when I joined EG, it was really simple. I just hit up EG, they hit me up, I joined, and I knew that like if we wanted to have a winning potential or just to even do a little bit better, I would have to make moves with that team and pick up some other players. And so when I got the offer from FaZe, I was definitely thinking about going back, and then I just realized like, do I want to go back and do it again? Like, I don't want to be. I do love FaZe. I do like did want to be on FaZe my whole career, but I felt like it was just kind of going out and doing something on my own rather than just going back and knowing what's gonna happen. And even though we haven't got the placings that we've wanted this year so far, I think it's been a really good growing experience for me. And then also dealing with other players and just learning to become an overall better player. So it was just kind of one of those things.
Well, to back up your decision with like the whole FaZe and like going back to FaZe, I personally think, and I think the FaZe guys even agree now too. Like I think I think both you guys got the best of both worlds. Like I truly think if you join that FaZe team, I truly think like you guys wouldn't have ended up being that good. Just like play styles meshing and like just stuff like that. Like you're an insane player. You're playing amazing on EG. But like being on the same point, you know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't have worked out. So, and I think FaZe getting someone like Asim worked out for them better too. Like I think you guys would have been probably worse just because even though like how talented you are and how talented everyone on a FaZe is, it's not always about the talent. It's all about a lot more play styles and how things can work and all of this stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And then like on top of that, it's just how many times you're gonna like sometimes like getting a fresh start with new players, new people like help you out a lot more than you think. Like how many times you're gonna team with the same people, and that's not. I'm not saying you can't team with like Zuma again and win. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
here.
definitely not. I definitely think we could team together and win it.
Exactly, but like how many times like maybe you just like you need a refresh. You know what I'm saying? It helps you so much. You learn other players' philosophies. You learn so much when you team with someone.
It rejuvenates you.
Yeah,
as a player, like
even for probably Tommy would be saying the same thing. Like, dude, when you team with a group of new people, you learn a lot of new things about new people, and it helps. And you take those things to yourself, right? So it's like, that can go such a long way, and sometimes that's just needed for everyone. Like, I think everyone grows from that sometimes, and even though you won't think at the moment, like, dude, remember when we were sitting in the hotel room after we didn't qualify to PLQ? We were all sitting there, and we're like, dude, the fuck is about to happen?
I remember. Chris was like, "This is it."
Yeah, dude. Like seriously, I genuinely did not know what was gonna be like my life, and then like the next, like you know what I'm saying, like the next.
Still mind blown. You guys didn't qualify.
I'm mind blown.
All because Preston didn't want to run a Saug.
Listen, there's a lot more to that story. We're not getting deep into that.
Hey, appreciate y'all for giving me
we are not getting deep into that because
we're not getting deep into that. That's for another time. I lost pool. All right, next question.
Wait, we should actually have all of us on that team, like on for one day and talk about it. We should. Maybe at the end of the year. Maybe at the end of the year. But
yeah, we should.
Regardless,
wow,
like it's crazy because
this whole couple of months we lose full months leading up into the game to then.
Yeah, dude, and but like it's so weird because you're sitting there and like you don't know what it is, but like. To be honest, like even not qualifying for me, as much as like playing is good and like I enjoyed it, and even though like I still think if I had the right role with the right team, I probably could have been on a good team. I'm not saying I would have been like dominant, but like but I've never been happier now doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm streaming. I love streaming. I love doing the podcast. I'm still involved with Call of Duty. I'm coaching, which is like to me like you've teamed with me, Dylan. Like that's basically what I do anyway when I play. Yeah. So like it's very easy to like see like. How the topic of like how you like bounce back from like your worst times is just sometimes like your worst moments lead to like the most successful part of your life and you just have no idea. You know what I mean? Like Nameless said it in the chat right now. Facts. Like he's up, like life is upgraded for him since he's retired. Like, and justify this if I'm wrong. When you first retired, when you got dropped from EG and you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, look at
you. You were probably sitting in your room just like, dude, like stressing out, like I don't know what the hell I'm about to do. Like, what do I do? What's next? Do I still play? And like players like the guys on this podcast that continue to play, like they were sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to continue to play. And now like, look, like they're all at champs this year. They're all doing their thing. Like you just never know. Like sometimes the worst thing that's happened to you actually leads to like some of the most successful things in your time. Like even now, like Dylan, like you're doing amazing. Yes, your placings aren't that bad, but your team's still very good. And you were on the All-Star team.
Right, I got last every event. I'm on the All-Star team. Like you get last every year.
But like in Ian, like you don't get
So
dropped.
good now.
Yeah, see, you get talked about again.
I've been good.
Like Ian, you get dropped. You think you're done, and then you end up winning back-to-back events this year and being on a team that you would have never been on. If you didn't get dropped, if they kept you on EG, you probably would have never. You probably would have been done by now. You could have ran yourself into the ground. You have no idea. So it's just so weird. Like
the low points in life are needed for sure. It like gives you like a moment of realization on like what you really want to do.
Yeah, no.
And then like I don't know. It just I feel like that's what actually helps people. Like you know how everyone says all the time like someone who's successful has failed 100 times. Like
you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah, like
what you need to do.
And with us specifically, whether it's like something like you were Ant, right, where you were like, dude, you know, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Like, I want to kind of go a different path, and like you want to be a streamer, content creator, like whatever. And Ant, obviously being a host, analyst, but like, I don't know if you never really had that moment, you would just still be like, you'd still be playing. You know what I mean? Like, if you qualified for the league, but then you guys weren't doing so well, you would have
I'd be miserable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like I was playing.
Like, but the fact that happened, it sucked in the moment. And yeah, you're like, dude, that might be the lowest point in my career, but like it opened up so much for you that you probably had no clue was even possible.
Well, Bryce brings up a good point. He said rock bottom's a damn good place to start building, but in the sense of like to that, like you don't try something else out when you're. Are you good down there?
I'll get attacked by a fly, bro.
Like, bro, you don't try something else like fully until like you obviously you don't try something else fully until you obviously like you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're a competitive player and you're scrimming every day, you're not gonna go out and stream for 10 hours a day because you can't. Same thing with Ant. Like you don't know if you're gonna be a good broadcaster, an analyst, or whatever you're doing because you don't have time because you're focused on your grind of what you're currently doing. You never actually have the chance to like take that risk and start building, like what Bryce said, start building on something new to like help yourself out, you know? Like I think it's just so crazy thinking about how like some of these moments just have led to like so many different things. The person I use to the best example, and I could be completely wrong about this because I don't talk to him personally, like, you know, like Ninja, like I just don't think like, you think when Ninja retired, like he was happy about it, like in Halo, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm sure he was probably super anxious about it. And dude, now look at the guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even like I don't talk to him, but like this is me kind of speculating, but like I'm sure when that happened, I don't think he was like expecting to become what he is now, but like you just had no idea. Like him retiring from Halo could have been like one of the best things he can because he focused on his stream. He played H1Z1. He started blowing up, and now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if he stayed as a player, you never know what could have had it. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's definitely pretty crazy.
That's why I always, not even with Kaba, I always like listening to like successful people's like lowest point in their life.
Yeah, I mean,
because like yeah, I mean, majority of the time it's insane, and you're like, wow, they were there, and then they built themselves up all the way to where they're at now. It's like kind of it just for me, it makes it seem like so nothing's ever that bad, you know.
Yeah.
Because in the moment, I remember when you guys didn't qualify. Not to keep going on this topic, but when you guys didn't qualify, I legit thought, like, I was ready to call 911 for y'all. I thought someone was jumping off the balcony in the hotel. No lie.
Oh, dude, I remember being in your room.
But then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take a couple days, and like you really like just think about what you actually want to do, and you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. You know, I thought it was a lot worse than. I thought it was a lot worse.
Looking back at it now and looking where everyone ended up, I think it was the best for everyone in the party. Yeah. I think Dylan is like obviously doing his thing now with EG. I think the FaZe guys are doing great. Preston's on 100 Thieves. He's won an event or two. Like I think it kind of helped everyone out in the long run. Way more than you would have thought. Even like for RJ, the coach, he's got like a full time. He is FaZe's coach, and look at the FaZe team now. He is a big part of that success, and the FaZe players will tell you. So, like, even our coach ended up getting a lot of praise from everything that happened. So it's like when we were all sitting there talking about it, it was the worst, but it ended up getting way better, and that's the crazy thing. But to move on from this topic, this has been a topic I got a lot of tweets about, Mike. This is your time to shine. If you want to talk about it, you can respectfully decline if you want to. But
nah, let's get it, baby.
yeah, so everyone has obviously talked. I know I talked to you right when it happened, and we didn't really get things to align. But now that I have you on here, people always wanted to hear your story of the GenG story.
Yeah,
and so I guess you can start it from. Obviously, we've heard it from their side, and we just kind of want to hear what happened from at least your point of view, because we've never really got that side.
I'll start with the first time, but yeah, I haven't really talked about this at all to anyone or just at all, like anywhere, because I'm just the type of person. Something happens, just keep it moving, and I don't want to create like people to start looking at those players in a different way, or this isn't me talking down on them. This is just my point of view on how things happen and how I feel it all went down. And I never really spoke on that because I just want to keep moving on, not create drama to where I could just focus on what's next. So the first time it happened, we were 6-1 in the league. The only team we lost to was Midnight. And Envoy, obviously, kid's a beast. Even when I got dropped for him, I had no hate on him. I knew why they did it in the aspect that he's been playing better than me. Kid's a superstar, next gen talent, and I understand that. But the way it was done, I kind of felt like throughout for a couple months, it was always set up for me to be the next one out. Because to be honest, some days I just get on and scrim with the team, and I'd be frying with a specialist, right? And then somehow Nagafin goes behind my back and tells someone on the team, brings them in the theater, doesn't tell me anything about it, and shows a bad play of me using a specialist. And the whole time, me being on GenG with Nagafin, it just felt like he was always out to get me. I don't know. In my eyes, the way it happened, reason it got pushed forward to me being dropped in the first place for Envoy, was because he was insecure that it was either me or him to go, and that since I was the one that went out and talked with GenG, coordinated contracts and did all that I had more power than him. So I felt like any single way he could to try to downplay me or throw dirt on me to my teammates, at the time, he did. So I was kind of upset in that regard and felt like I was just kind of outcasted and not respected as much when it came to being dropped the first time. So the only thing I learned from that is, I fucked up in the aspect of picking the people I picked to join the team going into 5v5. And if I could go back and change that, I would, but it is what it is. And it's just time to move on and have complete respect for those guys. And it is what it is.
It's weird because at least, so the first time you guys had such a good performance, and this is me being very transparent with you too. You know how I am. I'm not going to lie. So when they did that first move, everyone was shocked because I think I was in the call with my current team. Same thing, Ian. And I was in the call with my current team. I was like, wait, they actually just made a move. I can't believe it. But when it happened at the same time, Envoy, as obviously we see now, he's unbelievable at this game. But it was more maybe they're trying to get an upgrade. Envoy has been playing really good. So maybe they think they're getting an upgrade. So I was like, all right, I kind of see the logic. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I really I even know this is once again I'm just being honest with you. But that happened. It was crazy. Why break a thing that's not broken? But I saw where they're coming from. Maybe they wanted to see if they can get more slaying power, whatever the hell the theory was. But the second time is what I'm interested in, because the second time they have Envoy this time. Envoy this time, and they get second. They couldn't beat our team, obviously, at the event. So they were maybe we have to try something new. It was understandable. It made complete sense, and they pick you up. They give you a chance.
Second time was straight food.
So this is what I want to hear, because
situation was horrible.
Because they go 4-0 with you. They don't lose the search, which I'm pretty sure.
We go 4-0.
Yeah, and explain from there.
I have a week to transition from a Saug to a Maddox, and I'm grinding my ass off at the pro league, in the room, trying to improve individually. And the whole time I knew something was up, and I kind of felt like leading up to the pro league is what kind of chalked it for them, because a lot of times in practice and scrims online, like my internet would go out or teams would overbook and fraud us and not scrim us. So we didn't have much practice at all, even going into the pro league with the new squad, like me joining for Naga.
Yeah, of course.
Even so, we still went 4-0. But the funny thing to me was the whole time, like, we created a system going into this game that we abided by and made sure we stuck by each time, like going into our matches, was to watch film, go over our individual film, watch other teams' film. Not once during the whole transition of me joining for Naga did we go over film. Not once did we join theater at all. So that was kind of like,
So it felt off.
It felt
yeah,
off,
it felt
yeah.
like something was going on already for sure. And I didn't understand why. And then eventually we just ended up going 4-0. The last time I even seen them was we went back to the hotel, like, yo, good shit, we came here, handle business, 4-0, blah, blah, blah. Then we were like planning to go out for a steak dinner. I ended up not going. One, because in the back of my head, I knew something was up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking go to a steak dinner with these guys if I feel like they're gonna drop me. Especially because at the time my stomach was hurting, so I was like, I'm just gonna stay back. But
Full head
nah,
the
yeah,
bubbles.
Should have went to that dinner, bro. You should
dead
have.
ass, bro.
Wait, I was
went to
actually
the
gonna
dinner, I
say,
might have been on the
not
spot, yeah.
going to a dinner like that, as
Yeah,
dumb
that
as
might
this
have-
sounds, that could be a mistake.
Yeah, that could be the thing. Like you.
As
say a
dumb as it
couple words at that
sounds,
Hey,
dinner-
but
listen,
yeah.
listen. I went to a dinner when we were 6-1. Fools still weren't having it.
Okay, so all right,
Uh,
that makes sense.
Give him a break.
Um,
Fool was on the toilet all night.
But yeah, so then we get back from the league and they just hit me up like, yo, it's nothing against you. Like, you did nothing wrong. We appreciate you coming through and handling business and being professional with it. But we just feel like we have a better system with Naga. And I was just like, I was a loss for words. I just laughed at them and I said, all right, whatever. Like, you made your bed, lay in it, and I just have the confidence in myself. I'll be fine either way. The only thing that just pisses me off is going 10-1 in the pro league and 16-0 in S&D. When people say S&D wins championships, and like I've only been to
Never getting a
one,
chance to enter an
I've
event.
only been to one event in this whole game with one set team, and that was Vegas with GenG with Naga. So this whole year has just been chalked, and like I feel like I worked so hard in World War II to bounce back and get to the point where I could start competing for championships, especially this deep in my career. Like I know I have to win a championship because when it comes to my stock and people wanting to team with me, I haven't done it yet. So I wanted to do it with this team, and that shit just got chalked. And it's just frustrating because I had to go through shit like that my whole career, like being on top teams in the past, like in Bops 2, Ghost, where I was too young to go to champs and having to get dropped because I wasn't the age requirement. So it's just demoralizing, and I just got to keep it pushing though, because I know I'm
Hey,
that close, and hopefully, it's what I love to do. So, and I know with the year I just had, even with what happened, like it's still something to bounce back off of.
Nice. It
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
yeah.
that's crazy.
I've always wanted to
That's
hear your side
insane,
because
but-
and Stream, that's the first time I've ever heard it too. None of us have
That's
ever heard
the
that.
first
We
I've
didn't-
heard
we,
it.
I haven't talked to Mike behind the scenes ever about it. It's just very like, yeah, it was just a very weird situation. We've heard their side of the story. Now we obviously heard yours, but yeah, it's so weird how like this might be completely wrong, obviously, but like if you did go to that dinner, you never know. It's like so weird how things work out because people talk. If you're not there, it's
But
even like
that's-
your internet goes out in one scrim or something like that. It's like there's so much
Yeah.
to it, but yeah, no,
Wait, that's another thing too. Like how you said, like a teammate was plotting against you. There's never really been many players who've actually said like publicly that they have had a teammate plot against them. Like they might just like go brush
mean, it's
under the
happened.
rug,
It's
but like
happened.
it definitely has happened to a lot of
it's
people.
happened.
before,
I'm not
and,
gonna
like,
say who because it's not my business, but it's happened.
Yeah, it's interesting to like actually hear it
Yeah,
now.
because I mean, think about it though. Seriously, at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're a team. Yeah, you want to win. Yeah, you want to do your best. You know what I'm saying? All of this, but you're also competing for your job, right? So if it's you or the other guy on the line, most people are gonna try and do their utmost to get their self to stay. I dropped myself in AW.
It's their, it's
and I
their
take pride
livelihood.
for that. I remember doing that literally. I've dropped myself in AW because I
Well,
remember
your
doing
ass was garbage, man.
after champs. I was
that's
garbage.
crazy.
Wait, but I still got second and then third, being garbage. I was terrible at that game. But regardless, I like after champs when we won. And I talked to Clay straight up, like face to face with Dylan too. And I literally said, I was like, listen, like I'm just not fucking cutting it. It was me or Cap. And me and Cap talked about it too. And I literally said, I was like, I'm just not fucking cutting it. I was like, I don't think me or Cap can be on the same team right now and win. Period. I was just being straight up about it. You know what I'm saying? It was true. And then we ended up both like obviously you guys. That's when you guys made the FaZe team. Is that when it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when it happened. But I even agreed. Like I came to you guys and said, take my fucking job away from me. I suck. But like you'd be surprised at the end of the day. Yeah, at the end of the day, I was literally at your house when I got dropped. At the end of the day, it's like people do compete for their spots, and if it's you or the other guy, people are gonna do their
99.9% of the time.
Yeah, you're
fighting to the death.
Yeah, you're gonna do your best, and it's pretty nuts to think about. Like you never know. Like it's so crazy how like
people just see the team. They don't see the individuals on the team. Like
yeah,
they don't. No one knows the behind the scenes stuff that happens because you only know it on your team. No one knows it on any other team unless people.
I feel like there should be a reality show about it.
There needs to be low key.
Wait, there'd be a crazy.
I heard that's what's happening with franchising out low key. I don't know.
Wait, there should be a reality show with like a team, like the shit that actually goes on, because you'd be like, there's so much stupid shit that happens.
And Abel was getting gunned all day, and it's so frustrating. Like,
it's so insane. I mean, wait, hold up, Ian. You get gunned all day, every day, baby. That's
It'd be more like Enable showed up to scrims faded. and we're still frying.
And dropped 1K damage.
5 event wins. Where's the Lambo truck, yo?
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
That is so funny. But yeah, no, I've never heard that story, but it's pretty nuts. So they didn't tell you. Wait, hold up. So they didn't tell you that you might get dropped. It was just like. You're not talking to me. You're talking to Mike. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, go.
Wait, huh?
He was talking to Mike. He said, so they didn't tell you that you might get dropped if they felt more. So yeah, that's actually a good question. When they asked you to step up to the plate or whatever it was and play at the pro league, did they like let you know like you have a chance of like probably getting dropped again? Like if you do bad or what was like the talk?
Well, it was around like the roster change period just ended. I was in talks with like 3 teams, but they were all last, like bottom tier teams. So I just chalked it, and especially with still getting paid from GenG, I wasn't gonna sell myself short to try to force something.
Okay.
So I ended up just like pretty much just accepting my fate and thinking I was gonna go play an open bracket and try to bounce back that way. And then all of a sudden, I look at my phone. I have 6 missed calls from Mox and a DM from Joey.
That's never good.
He's like, yo, no, it was good at the time. He was like, this is when they first hit me up.
Oh, okay.
So 6 missed calls from Chance, and then a DM from Joey Nubsy. He's like, yo, is it Duffy season? And I was like, oh shit, it's on. Let me see. I was like, so I called Mox right away. I was like, yo, what's going on over there? What's up? He's like, yo, can you hop in Discord? So I hop in Discord with him, Joey Nubsy, and Envoy. And at the time, it's like 2 a.m. So they were the only ones up still. And they pretty much tell me that they had a disagreement with Jared and Scrims, and they just didn't like how he was coming off, and they were just tired of him, and they felt like they wanted to change since they lost to who was it?
100 Thieves.
100 Thieves. Yeah. So they were like, so are you down to play? I'm like, is this for sure? Like I'm insecure still because I've been talking to other teams and they done me dirty, like saying I'd be on the team and then I'm not. And then I was like, is this for I was like, is this for sure? They're like, yeah, it's chalked for Jared. You're on the team. We're gonna start scrimming tomorrow. And then like, in the post that GenG posted, it said I'm being subbed in for the pro league, but they made it out to seem like it was a full-time thing.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that was actually a good question that I forgot, and someone in the chat obviously just caught it. When that first happened, I think we were all on the call like scrimming or something, and I literally said, I was like, "There's no way like it wasn't done with like saying like heads up, we don't do good."
You guys are the first team we scrimmed.
Yeah, and I remember it like vividly, like saying like heads up, like if you don't do good, like you might be on the roster. Then it's like, all right, you're kind of picking, you're choosing that knowing, you know what I'm saying, like you know like what's gonna happen. And then you guys ended up doing well. So like realistically, even if that was a thing, like you guys did well. I just always wondered like how those things worked, because it's just I really wanted to get behind the scenes, because usually I actually don't even bother to like hear some of the behind the scenes stuff, because like usually you can kind of tell. But that was just such a interesting situation, and I know I tried to get you on the first time, and we couldn't get things like situated, and now finally I was able to hear that story. That was the first time I ever heard it too, so that was pretty Interesting. Very, yeah. You've gone through some weird shit in your career, Mike. You've gone through some weird shit in your career.
Like
Mikey's a grinder though. Money
Yeah.
making Mitch.
like people roast me for not winning a championship, and like it holds me back from being able to join teams because I don't have a championship. But how the fuck am I win a chip when like I'm
This was,
doing
your
what I'm
best
doing and
chance.
and
Yeah,
then
like
getting
that
chalked.
Gen G team is your best chance. Like you literally, like you said, you didn't get to go to an event with them, but like you never know what could happen at an event. Like you guys have been playing super well in the league. Granted, the league and the events are different, but like you guys are playing really well, and you just got robbed of an opportunity.
Didn't even get a chance
Yeah,
to like put it to the test.
yeah.
Yeah, no. All right. We'll move on to like the last section here. We will talk. So we'll take some questions from the chat really quick. Just like a few. We won't go like super in depth because we've been here for a little bit. And we'll talk just answer random questions or like questions that are relevant. For example, who do you think the best Saug in the game is? We'll start with that one. That's the first one I saw.
Envoy.
Best Saug
By
in the
far.
game. You think it's
Well,
Envoy?
actually, well, he doesn't even run main Saug, right?
No.
Not even. Yeah,
I take it back.
Dylan Cod, bro.
Abizi's
That
best
guy's
Saug in the game, hands
everywhere on
down.
the map. Dylan Cod.
I think Dylan Cod is like the best at like maneuvering the map and getting kills like that. But
sheer
I feel like
slaying.
his team, yeah, his pure slaying. His team doesn't really like. They're not really like, they are a team, but they don't like play like super structured game. They're kind of just like everywhere, all over the place. And when it's working, it's working. He's getting his kills. They're frying. But when it's not, they're just getting shut down. But a player like Envoy, like a Gen G team, or like even at United's kind of the same way. They kind of play like super crazy until like Facinto came along and kind of helped them out. But they just have so much raw talent. But like Gen G, they play super structured, and they can really showcase their talents like Envoy and Havoc can with the Sogs by playing structured and also getting a ton of kills and being super impactful on the map.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's weird because I'm seeing like people's answers in the chat right now. People are saying Dylan, people are saying like Abizi and other people.
Yeah.
So the way I evaluate it is like I think like I would love to say Dylan Cod because of how good Dylan Cod is and how much potential he has to go 25-2 and win you a map and like the last stretch of it. And you're like, what the gameplay he provided versus LG at CWL Miami when that was that frequency and he was like negative and not doing it, and all of a sudden
3 minutes of like Black Ops 4
we were all sitting in the pro lounge like, dude, what is going? You know, we're like, what is he doing right now? But like, the thing is with him is like his only flaw sometimes is like he might be too fast sometimes, like when he doesn't wait for teammates and like other stuff like impacts. But like I think how much he provides to a team is still unbelievable. I think Dylan's insane.
He's probably the most talented, but like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Like AWQ. Remember AWQ?
Unbelievable, yeah.
But
I also go ahead, Ian.
Oh no, I was just saying what Dylan said is there's a difference when you get to like the top of the top teams where it just you getting kills and you actually being impactful on the map in the right ways for your team to succeed.
Yeah.
That's why I think Abizi's the best. Because obviously, obviously you have to if you want to be considered, one of the best at whatever role you're doing, you have to put up good stats. But there's a lot of players who put up good stats, but they hurt their team. Not saying Dylan Cott is one of them.
Yeah, I don't think Dylan Cott's one of them.
You need to get the perfect mix of.
I feel you on that,
talented.
But I feel like Abizi's in a better system around like teamwork and discipline and what players he has around him. Like not
Probably,
saying.
I mean, I don't know.
This is the case. Yeah, same. Not saying this is the case, but like when I look at United to Rec, like I feel like Abizi's set up for success in the right places and at the right times more than Dylan is.
Okay, I mean that's true. I think Abizi's super impactful. I think the way he plays, like I think obviously
I think he's
no
super
one
underrated.
said Simp, and I think Simp and Abizi together are the best of both worlds because the way Abizi plays and how aggressive and like if you play against Abizi in a scrim, you're like, holy shit, this kid is so annoying to play against because he just he runs at you, he challenges you, he kills and he gets you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what? But then there's Simp, who I think is so good at being like just the way he plays, like staying alive. Like he reminds me a lot of like an Envoy, like someone who is just good at Call of Duty. Like overall, like Sim can get your entries when he needs to. He can bait you when he needs to. He can play slow when he needs to. He can play super fast. Like he does everything really smart. So I think the way they like work off each other is super good. That's why I think they're like one of the best like Saug duos at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. my person this year I think when Envoy runs a sub, I know he's not a main sub. You know what I'm saying? Like technically he flexes. Yeah. But like when he runs a sub, the way he plays, he puts up really good stats, and stats don't always tell the full story. And that's my thing with him. It's not about his 1.2 KD or his 1.1 or whatever it is. It's more like every time I watch Dylan, I called him Dylan, but like his name, Envoy. I know. But like every time I watch Envoy play, he is always making like a play, like waiting for his teammate, being super smart about it, and still getting a 2, and still providing and like more. So I don't know. I think he's really good.
If we categorize Envoy as a sub, then he's hands down the best sub in the game, and it's not even like actually not even close.
I think he's unbelievable because the way he plays, his play style.
That kid is disgusting, and he's actually like he impressed. I teamed with that kid in AW at Worlds, and
he wasn't even that good.
And he was, he had an ass vent, but
that's what I'm just being honest. Like I said, I'm being transparent.
Teaming with him this time with GenG, like in the beginning of the game, I feel like we set the meta for the game like early on, our GenG team, and we were really smart and really advanced. But playing with him this time around, like that kid is very smart, knows how to play around the team. His pacing's on point, just all around like very talented and good player who understands his individual situations to a T.
I mean, that's the thing for him is you used a good word. His pacing is very good. Like I feel like Envoy is always in the mix of like where he's supposed to be at the right times. Like he's never really too fast, and he's never really too slow. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's always just like in that medium. It's kind of like Simp. He reminds me a lot. Like I think Simp does a very good job of this too. Simp's never like, bro, what is this guy doing? Like he's out of the play. Like what? This is a stupid play. Like, you never really catch yourself saying that about Simp. Like you like Simple hit a nice shot, and you're like, whoa, that was a crazy shot. That was like you'll say something more like that. But I feel like he's just really good at pacing himself around his team and making sure like the kills he gets on the map are impactful. Like it's not just a useless 2-piece somewhere over the map. And I'm not even saying that about Dylan Cod, by the way. I'm not. I think Dylan Cod's unbelievable. It's just like I feel like the way Envoy plays is so impactful for his team. I think he does so much.
You never see Envoy get like a 2 or 3 piece, but while he's doing that and like it's inflating his stats, he's like messing a spawn up. You know what I mean? Like forcing another team in a split or like giving them the advantageous spawn. Where like there's a lot of other players, not even players who are considered like in the best of their role, that do that a lot, that have good stats, and people are like, oh, they're the fucking best. Like so I don't know. Like I said, you got to have the perfect mix of being talented, obviously individually, but then also impacting the game in a positive way for your team. And I think having both of those, only a couple players have like in each role, for sure.
Okay. Press Priest is underrated. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I can't talk about Priesta because I'm the most biased human being in the world when it comes to Preston. So I never talk about Preston just because anything like I'm too close with him. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like one of my best friends. Like I think Preston's like the best player in the world. So like I'm not gonna talk about him. But in the sense, like I think he's up there too. Like he's definitely in the category. But I don't like speaking on his behalf because
Preston's top 5 player in the game.
Yeah, I agree. But there's very few people or very few topics that like I can usually talk about. Even like if they're my best friend, I can usually still be pretty like transparent about it. I feel like when it comes to the way he plays and how good of a teammate Preston is, I think, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I usually don't bring him up. But I actually just saw a good question, and I know I asked this in the last podcast, and it was kind of like, who's your MVP for the event? What do you consider an MVP? Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, we went on a whole, like, conversation about it. Who's the MVP of the year? Of the year. We're talking full year.
I think you have to wait till after champs.
But, all right, leading up to Miami, like, right now. Who do you think has been the MVP
Let's say
of
Miami
the year?
was the last event.
Yeah.
MVP, I mean, to be honest, this is probably going to be biased, but I feel like it has to be Preston.
We were just talking about him. Now I agree.
I mean, just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're the only team that's won multiple events so far.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
we went from barely making the Pro League, getting top 12 in Vegas. Like, I mean, it would either be him or Simp, but like E United got second at the first event.
Yeah.
Says E United was successful without Simp, as much as I think Simp's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying, and how much he helps that team.
That's what I'm saying. Most valuable player.
But I think E United was successful without him, even though he's one of the best players to ever play right now. But still, Yeah, so I don't think Simp's a good one to say that just because. I mean, as good as he is, like I think Simp is literally like a top 3 player right now. I just feel like he also hasn't played the entire year. He didn't play the first 2 events. First 2, right? Was it the first 2? Yeah,
Simp didn't. I don't think. Yeah, he
Well,
wasn't old enough.
First one
Okay.
was London, right?
No, his
Nah, it
first
was
one was
Vegas. He
London.
didn't-
It was Vegas and then LG won. What did LG win? Sorry.
No, I don't think he
Oh,
went to
wait,
London.
no.
His first event
No,
was
he
Fort
won. No,
Worth.
he was
You're
at
talking about
London. We
Simp,
played.
right?
Yeah, we played.
Oh,
We
yeah.
played Simp in the finals at London. We've definitely played Simp.
Well,
in the
yeah,
finals.
Simp
okay.
that was his first major event. Like he won the M bracket with FaZe
I
Black
missed
at
2
Fort Worth,
events.
and then London was his
Yeah.
first major, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like if we're saying like I'm saying the entire year. That's the only reason why I don't include Simp here. Other than if Simp were to finish out, if Simp wins champs this year, then definitely. Yeah, I don't care that he hasn't played the entire year. Period.
Yeah.
Like he took a team that could not win or couldn't
It
like
would
get
for
over
sure
that
be him.
cusp and then win. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's crazy
Yeah,
too.
it would for sure be him if they were.
But yeah, so you said Priesta, so Dylan and Mike, who do you guys have?
I have to say Preston too, because like, what's your events with him? Didn't you win? You got 4th one event with him.
We got 4th where he got sick, which
Yeah,
I still think we would make the
I
finals.
mean, you guys are on fire.
Bro,
Yeah,
that event was the free, bro.
And then we got first, and then
First,
fifth, sixth, obviously.
I mean, it's been really good placings ever since you got him.
Okay, and
I'm gonna go with Priest as well.
we're all saying Priesta.
The shit that fool does on the map is ridiculous.
I mean, he's just like any
Makes
other
the game-
Saug, like that's super nasty and got like super impactful, really good shot. He's amazing with the Maddox, like he's just an all-around really good player.
The only difference between him and the other players that do it is he has 2 events this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he legitimately could be top 5 at any role in this game. Like if he was main ICR, I think he could be.
Yeah,
he was nasty. He was
top
nasty
five,
with an
top
ICR
five.
when he used it. Yeah.
Played,
There's only a couple players. Yeah, there's only a couple players that could do that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Okay. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. And I think it's Sam. I think it's Octane. And the only reason why I say that is not because he's on our team. Like this is not even me being biased. I just feel like for the most part throughout the year, if you ask someone who the best ICR in the game is, most people are saying Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
ICRs in this game literally make and break.
And I think Sam has been spoken about the main ICR as like the best ICR in the game through wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? Like I still think people regard him as a very good player, even though he didn't do very well at Miami. And through wins, he's one of the few ICRs that can play at his level and like also be pretty impactful and like slide in the hills and do a lot of things. Like obviously you have your other top ICRs. You have RCDs, who I think is really good. You have Mox, all these guys too. They're really good ICRs. But I just feel like he's been considered like the best at his craft the entire year. You know what I'm saying? I think Mox is very, very good. I think he's been unbelievable. I think RCDs has there's been so many people, but I just feel like Sam has been that guy where most of the time when you're looking at the Reddit or anything like that, it's like the best ICR in the game, Octane, done. Like it's not even like a discussion for the most part. So it's like I feel like it would be him, just because I feel it's very rare you go through an entire like span of like events and you're still like considered like that guy. You know what I mean? Like usually you have submachine gun players that like have their ups and downs, or you have like these players like, oh, he was really good for the first half of the year, but then he kind of fell off. You know what I'm saying? Like then it's like, oh, this guy was really good at this event specifically, but then it wasn't that good. Like Sam has been considered like, if I'm picking up an ICR, I'm picking up this guy, and that's it. Like for like 4 events now, for the most part. So it's like that's why I think it'd be him. That's the only reason why I would say it. And then another question was who is the most improved player this year? So from Vegas to now.
Kenny. Wait, this sounds like a fucking
100%.
Well, this is the worst because we keep using 100 Thieves players. I hate using the 100 Thieves players.
Once again, though, I don't know how you can. I mean, let me actually try to give good thought to it. But like,
give
first
good thought to
it.
it. Yeah. So Kenny's a very good answer.
Someone else can go.
The chat's agreeing though. The chat's agreeing. It's not like you're just saying that because you're his teammate.
You can say Kenny for sure.
But I want to hear
tough.
because I have some people. I have some people in my mind, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts first.
Slack put well at the last event. I would say
Slack,
me because I think I
Slack,
improved individually, but like I'm getting the placings to back it up, so I don't really care.
No, I could see you too. Sure.
Yeah, like improved individually, but like if I was like but from a standpoint of placing well and doing good, like we haven't, so like I can't say me.
Okay.
I could say me, but I can't say me. You just like if I placed well, I could be like, okay, yeah, maybe me, but no.
Mine's Havoc.
Nah,
That's a good one.
You said Vegas to like now. If you didn't say that, that was my answer. Like from World War II to now, like he was just in a situation where like he didn't know what he was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't playing, he was just streaming. His stock was at an all-time low, and now he's like one of the best Saug players, and he is one of the best Saug players in the game. And like just from his smarts aspect of the game as well, like that's what I hold like highest for his improvement is like he used to be a brain dead, just like hitting shit, just challenging everything, but he's actually talented and smart now, so he's definitely a good answer.
Yeah, well, the reason why, so people are saying he dropped a 1.3 at Vegas, I know. But I guess to what I said, I contradicted myself. I didn't mean like, so I think from like what Havoc's career has been and like what Mike said, the World War II thing. If him, basically, bro, people laughed at Havoc last year. Not just being transparent again, I'm being very honest. People did not think Havoc was good. People thought he sucked. What was his best placing last year? You know what I'm saying? Like he had a terrible year in World War II. Well, I don't even know what his best placing was, but all I know is that he was not very relevant last year in the sense of doing good. And then like for him to improve as a player and now he's been considered the last 2 years. Yeah, Matty, you're even right. Like Scraps just said, the last 2 years, even in IW, he was getting like people were hating on him. Like didn't think he was good. He was Havoc. He wasn't even good at IW in that sense either. He wasn't that great. And now you look at him now, people are talking about this guy like he is one of the best. Well, he is. He is one of the best Saug players in the game.
He is one of the best Saugs.
He went from literally being laughed at. No one thought he was that good. He's not a smart player. He's not gonna make it again. He was done. To now, you're considering this guy. If I asked you right now, who's the best Saug player in the game or one of the best Saug players or duos, he's in the conversation. And to go from that to like that extreme is pretty crazy to me. So that's why I said him. I guess Vegas to now isn't my answer because that doesn't make very, very good sense because I contradicted it. So I take my answer back. But Havoc overall as a player has been unbelievable. I think that. But I guess my answer, disregarding Kenny, would be Slacked. I think Slack did a very good job. Yeah. Everyone was roasting Slack. He was playing bad. He wasn't doing good. As much, for me, I don't think it was Slack being bad as much as his team was fucking terrible. Like that made it harder for him to do good. You know what I'm saying? But I think Slacked right now is a good grapple Saug. I would have never told you in a million years, knowing Slacked for as long as I have, that he would be a good grapple Saug player. Yeah. Hey, dude, I have teamed with Slacked. I have played with him. I have played against him. That guy is not an entry guy. I would have never told you that. And now I can guarantee, like I can say this with pure like confidence, he is a good grapple Saug player, and that's crazy to say, but it shows you how much improvement he's made.
I remember in Ghost, we got like top 5 one event, and he was like top 5 in KD, and he quoted the tweet like it was a stats tweet, and he goes, team got top 5, didn't do as good as we wanted to, but I fried this event, some shit like that. Like
yeah, he was the worst with that when he was younger. And I mean, Zuma and Frosty are really good ones too. Tommy actually got a lot better at this game, and not in the sense of stats. I don't care about Tommy's stats. Tommy's always been a superstar, stupid player. I said this about him plenty of times on my podcast, and I'll say it again. He's always been. You picked up Tommy because you wanted someone to slay. That's it. That's why you picked up Tommy, right? Everyone, you've teamed with him, both of you. So it's like you picked up Tommy because you wanted him to slay. And now watching them play and talking to him and talking to, obviously, I'm very good friends with their coach RJ. Like, Tommy has come such a long way from just being a stupid slayer to someone that's very, very important on the team. Like he does take the route. He does take the long route. He does do a lot for that team. Like I think Tommy provides so much more to that FaZe team than meets the eye. Like you hear a lot about Celium, you hear a lot about Asem, you hear a lot about Scraps because Scraps has been phenomenal this year, even Zero. I don't feel like you hear as much as you should about Zuma because he's doing a lot more for that team that a lot of spectators don't actually see. And that is why they are one of the better respawn teams in this game because of shit like that. They're not discrediting the rest of their team. The rest of their team is unbelievable. But someone like Tommy to go from someone that just hit mid-map all the time and just get a bunch of kills and drop 50 to someone that now is playing like fundamentally and he's grown so much as a person and a player is awesome to see. And he had a really bad Vegas like statistically. So like it
that's
technically
the biggest. that's the biggest thing with most of these people that like we're talking about in the improved list is just increasing their discipline and like being able to play structured with the team and get kills where they matter instead of just doing the individual shit.
Yeah, no, and well, that's the thing.
That's facts.
You don't see that kind of improvement as a spectator most of the time. Some do, some don't. But most of the time, you hear improvement, you see, oh, he had a 0.8 and now he has a 1.2, and then it's like, oh, he must have gotten better. It's not about that. Like I'm saying Tommy because I'm saying Slack because they changed their entire play style. They learned how to completely be a different person and player. You know what I mean? And Slack never went in first. I promise you. I swear to anything. Slack was not going in first ever. He was the guy that would lose and be like, and be like, oh yeah, my teammates didn't do that well this event. Like, oh, we'll get them next time. He does throw people under the bus. And now like Slack is the entry grapple Saug. He's completely changed his mindset. He's doing much more for the team that has to be done. So it's like, I don't know. Those players improving like that to me is so much more important than just improving like, oh, I got more kills this map. You know what I mean? Like that is so much more impressive to me to be able to drop your ego or to drop your play style and be like, listen, I am going to be a better teammate in person and go from there. You know what I mean? I think that's it.
Yeah, it takes a lot to do that.
And all right, we'll do one question, last one, and this is going to be putting people on the spot, so this should be interesting. But who is the biggest fall off this year? The biggest fall off this year. Not even like it's not even like roasting the specific person, but who do you think like started this year hot and now isn't, you know what I'm saying, like isn't really
me, boy. Shit.
It gotta be TJ. What he dropped 0.5, 0.4?
Wait, I knew you were gonna say Teej, dude.
Yeah, it's a bully, bro.
You just bully Teej because it's fun.
My man won the first event, and I don't know what happened.
I can never hate on my man TJ, bro.
Too.
I don't know.
Yeah, nah. To be honest, Pierce is like, I don't know, dude. It's so the thing about that question that sucks is like when someone actually falls off.
I'm not saying they
like,
fell off either.
No. I know, but I'm just saying it's usually like a product of their environment.
I agree. I definitely agree. So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not necessarily roasting the player. By
it's not like they just got bad overnight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not like they just lost all their skills.
Yeah, I mean, people have seen how fucking good Gunless is.
Oh, he's one of the most talented players COD ever. Yeah.
So like, if you want to use him for an example, it's like when he was on LG right in the beginning of the year, I'm sure the vibes were probably a lot better. You know, he was fine. They were placing well. They won. Then the vibes aren't there anymore. Like, no one on their team wants to play together. So like that hurts you because like now you're not going as hard. And then he got thrown into a situation with an NV team, which was already struggling. You know what I mean? So it's like,
the transition into that NV team is tough. Like that's one of the, I think that was one of the worst. Like he didn't really have much options because it was tough for him to get out of his contract with LG. But like that just wasn't a good fit for him. But I'm sure he's making the best out of it now and improving.
Yeah, like I don't know. It doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't have teammates around you that complement one another. This game is impossible to be good at. To actually like be like, oh my god, he played great.
The only way you could do what you just said is like be in a bad environment, the team's bad, and like you still do really, really good somehow, but your team is horrible. You're baiting your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just baiting.
How are we not talking more about Optic? They came out winning the first event.
This is as a team. Well, if you're talking as a team, then it's different. I'm talking individual player or players.
Yeah, but still, I feel like as players, there's some people in there that I don't know individually. I haven't like pay attention to their stats or if they're prime, but it's got to be someone.
All right. My answer to answer the question for me would be, I think it's Pharaoh, and I don't think it's Pharaoh as a player. I don't think he sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like you play Pharaoh, he has so much talent. Look where he went from last year to this year. He started on 100 Thieves, and now like look where he kind of got to. It's just I think it was a product of bad environments. You know what I'm saying? Like I think things just didn't go his way. Do I think next year he'll be good, and if he finds the right environment again and the right team, yeah, I think he'll be completely fine. Like I'm not saying Pharaoh fell off, he's done. Like you know, like I don't think that. I just feel like Pharaoh's had like the biggest, like he was on 100 Thieves, he was set up for success, and things just crumbled down. Even when you got the 100 Thieves environment sucked for him.
It's definitely him.
Yeah, like the 100 Thieves environment when he was on it, you guys were a fucking shit show. So it's like even that environment was terrible. So it's like it was super unfortunate. I feel like his year has slowly like gone downhill for him, and that's what it is. But like speaking of Optic, I'm actually gonna kind of defend Optic in the sense like I obviously think they've gotten worse since Vegas. They won and they haven't. Obviously, that's clear cut, black and white. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But I think like they get a lot more shit sometimes than they necessarily need to. I don't think they're obviously as dominant as they looked at Vegas. They won the event. They were unbelievable. But like before this event, before Miami, when they were role change or whatever it was, like I feel they got third and then they got third, right? Wasn't it 2 thirds in a row?
Yeah.
Like, bro, we're sitting here
They
talking
just
about
had a bad day.
bro, people.
They're obviously gonna get. They've always gotten the most shit, no matter what.
That's what I'm saying.
following.
That's
Yeah,
what I
they're
mean.
just the
Like,
biggest.
people love to take their shots at Optic when they can, and that's just the nature of it. But I don't think Optic is as bad as people make them out to be. They did play fucking horrendous at Miami. That is a fact.
I was about to say.
But I'm talking before that, they were getting the same amount of shit as they were after Miami, in my opinion. Like maybe
I agree with that.
like they were getting like, oh, Optic sucks. They need a role change. They need this. They can't win. They this and that. It's like they just got third place, bro. I'm seeing the same people talk about an 8th place or 12th place team. Like, oh, you guys will get them next time. But Optic does it. And it's like, oh, like these guys suck. It's like so it's like I don't know. Like this is it. I don't know.
It's got to be tough for them too to have to go through that and deal. I'm sure over the years they've gotten better with it. Obviously, talking to them, like they try to not pay too much attention to it, but like that could be the reason to like them putting themselves in a hole and trying to change things so much because they're not like trying to improve on what's almost working and then change it to a whole new thing that just sets them back even further, like they did in Miami.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I just feel
Even out London too. Didn't they have a super close series versus you guys?
Wait, if Kenny
Like-
didn't three-piece us,
Yeah,
three-piece
yeah.
them from Blue Window, we probably lost it.
Yeah, so that
You know what I'm saying?
Grand finals,
Yes.
and they probably win that event. Like think about that. Like
Yes.
that's
They're
really
Kenny,
not as bad as people make it out to be. Like,
Kenny's
they
moment
could've won
around that
event.
Blue Window when he went through Blue Window on the Arsenal control and got that three-piece was the play for the chip. The 1v1 between him and Karma when he was on the pillar and they were going back and forth. If Karma wins that 1v1, we potentially we probably might like not win the event. Maybe we still win the last S&D. It goes game 5, we win. You never know. But that 1v1 was huge. You know what I'm saying? It's like that little play can lead to so much more. So it's like I don't know. I feel people give them a lot more shit. And don't get me wrong. What Mike, you said, like, yeah, it's annoying probably dealing with a lot of like annoying stuff on social media. It does get annoying. I've been there. But that's not an excuse, and I'm not like I'm not trying to be like the knight in shining armor for Optic Gaming right now. That's really not what I'm doing. If they like, I just said they played like fucking garbage at Miami, but I do defend them in the sense like they can never win unless they actually win the tournament. Where if you were to get second at Miami, you would be getting tweets like, "Bro, you're a beast. Like, keep it up, man. Like, you've made so much improvement. Like all this." If Optic gets second at Miami. Oh my God, you guys fucking suck. You guys can't win.
Literally.
Could you guys please beat FaZe or something? Could you guys please do this? Like, bro, like,
literally.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And this is coming from like the coach of a rival team of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like we're like considered rivals or whatever you want to say. Like, I still think like that mindset is so fucking lame to me, and it always has been. So like, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. But we can wrap it up there. We've been here for like an hour and 45. I don't want to keep us too long. Obviously, you guys have 10s and other stuff to practice for the big championship coming up. So yeah,
time to get cracked.
I just posted.
Yeah, exactly. See, I know how it works, man. I know how it works. I don't want to keep you guys too long. So yeah, thank you guys for obviously coming out and being on the show. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, dude, we had a good group of people. I enjoyed it. I think we hit a lot of topics head on. I think
that was good.
I apologize for not coming prepared.
I mean, it's completely fine. I mean,
the 08
Mac. The 08 MacBook did not cut it, but you still did a good job. We obviously got to hear
this guy's
your side of stories and
bro,
stuff.
absolutely twisted.
I'll make up for it after I bounce back at Champs and back at my setup.
Listen, man, I hope you do. I wish you nothing but the best, and you know that.
Appreciate
but yeah,
that, buzzing.
We'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this, obviously, let me know kind of the next guests that you want, and I'll try and do my best to get them on. Obviously, I can't guarantee that because some people can just say fucking no, and that happens. So I'll do my best to get some next guests on, talk about some new things, but we're gonna end it off at that, and I'm gonna try and host someone. I don't know.